which is box and whisker plots. Now, the College Board is going to ask you about a bunch of different graphs, typically bar charts. They might ask you about a histogram. They might have a pie chart. But in my experience, most students are going to do pretty well on that. But the box and whisker plot is a plot that most students have never seen or have a vague memory of when they took statistics in middle school. And so the box and whisker plot is really interested in this thing called the 5-number summary. So statisticians got together and said there are 5 numbers that can accurately describe a data set very quickly, right? A set of data. And that is the minimum, something called Q1, the median, something called Q3, and the maximum. Okay? And so a box and whisker plot is a visual representation of the 5-number summary. Now the minimum is pretty obvious. The median we just talked about, and the maximum is pretty obvious. So the question is what is Q1 and Q3? Now there's a lot of different words for this. They can call this the first quartile, and that's where Q1 comes from. This is also referred to as the 25th percentile, whereas Q3 is the third quartile, and this would be the 75th percentile. Now the median, just for completeness here, the median would be considered the 50th percentile. Now that's okay, but I'd rather you understand this as the median of the lower half of the data and the Q3 is the median of the upper half of the data. Okay, so all we're doing is we're breaking up the data into halves and saying what is the median of that piece, right? So let's draw a box and whisker plot, and then we'll do a quick example. So I have something like this, and so I have the box which is in the middle, and each of these lines here, this is the minimum, this over here is the maximum, the median is in the middle here, and then the ends of the box are referred to as Q1 and Q3. And each section of this between the minimum and the Q1 is 25% of the data, right? So between Q1 and the median is 25%, between the median and Q3, and between Q3 and the max. All of that is 25% of the data sets. So let's do this real quick. I'm going to give you a data set here. Let's do something very simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we would look at this and say, okay, the minimum is 1, the maximum is 7, the median is 4, right in the middle. And since that's the median, these 3 numbers represent the lower half of the data, and these 3 points represent the upper half of the data. Okay, so then we would say, okay, well, what's the median of those numbers? And we know that 2 and 6 are the median of those respective halves, and so 2 is Q1 and 6 is Q3. And then you would plot those numbers, right? And that's what the graph would look like.